Welcome to Talking Point with Stephen Taylor here on Deen TV. It's good to have you along. And today I'm joined by somebody who not only is a well-known actor in South Africa, but somebody that taught me Afrikaans when I was in high school. Albert Maritz. Hello, sir. How are you? I should call you sir, eh? Because you are my Afrikaans teacher, eh?
Look, I wasn't a teacher for a long time, eh? So it's nice. It's gimmicky for me to somebody calls me sir.
Well, I did. That's what I did call you when I was in high school. And I didn't know that you were an actor back then. I just knew you as my Afrikaans teacher. And then I ended up watching TV and films and stuff like that. And sorry about my voice, I got a bit of flu. And I see that you are like a megastar in South Africa, Mr. Maritz. I mean, wow. Tell me about how it all began. Tell me about where you grew up.
Look, I just want to say that's an over-exaggeration, that megastar bit, but I'll take it. Thanks, I'll appreciate it. So, as I say in the rugby, hey,
yes.
I'll take that.
Yes, take that.
That win. How did it all begin? My dad was an actor, so you know, he was actor teacher, and in those days you could do that, you know, have both the professions really, but he did a lot of amateur theatre. And it was before television and stuff. So I was interested in that, and at some point started helping them technically when I was in primary school.
Oh, wow.
And then, there are a couple of funny stories about that, eh? The ones we played, they played in a play in Epping. So I took the train all by myself from Belleville Station to Epping Station, walked to where this venue was. It was a church hall, I think, and I started setting up. I could do that in primary school, so it's lights and stuff that needs to happen. And they arrived with a big tape recorder for the sound that I had to play in. You had to cue the sound so it plays at the right place at the right time.
And you knew how to do that?
Knew how to do that.
Wow.
And somebody was listening to the boxing match between Gary Coetzee and John Tate that night while they were watching the play.
Oh, wow.
Huh? That was incredible. So the Gary Coetzee fight was on a radio in somebody's ear.
That's hectic.
In the audience, same time as they were watching the play.
Wow.
That's the kind of funny things that I remember. But anyway, just to tell you a little bit further, then my dad wanted my brother to play in a play with them. There was a boy part, and the brother wouldn't. And at some point, they kept going at him for, please come, do it. And at one point I said, Dad, won't you think of maybe me playing that part? And he said, well, all right, that's a consideration. Spoke to the director and I played the part.
How old were you then?
Standard 5, in 1972, I was 12 years old.
Now known as grade 7. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably more or less how it started. I had, after that I started doing radio. I often went with my father to the radio studios.
Oh, when he did interviews and stuff?
Radio serials and the one-off dramas and so on.
Oh, he did that as well?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I was always astounded by that. You know, many of my heroes come from that period. And
who are they? Name some of them.
Well, the Cape Town, just to start with a clear radio name, there was a guy, Pierre Marais, and he was astounding. He was the most astounding radio announcer of any time in South Africa. You know, he's probably a little bit like the Johan Rademan today.
Oh yes.
Who does a little bit of everything and he's studious and he's good at what he does, you know. So he was ahead of his time, Pierre Marais. I met Cobus Robinson there, who was a legend of the radio, and many names like that. But people who were actors who also met there, there are too many names to mention. You know, there was a bloke, Lou Verwey, there was a bloke, Pietru Nolte, the ladies, Irmala Parkendorf, and there were many.
So were you born in Cape Town?
I was born in Belleville, and Belleville there by Hansa Clinic, where they raised the pink or blue flag, depending on who you are, so I was born and bred there. I went to Tuisius Law School, I went to Deef Milan High School, and I'm a proud old boy. Well, my sons grew up in Melkbos Strand mainly, and they
Are there any high schools or schools around that area?
There wasn't a high school. There's a very good high school now.
Oh, is it?
But the primary school there still, it's always been and still is of the highest standard, very, very well managed. So the boys had to travel by bus every day, early, for a long day to Jan van Riebeeck. So they were, Jan van Riebeeck. So I'm also a Jan van Riebeeck old boy in town, city, there in Kloofnek, Tamboerskloof area. Yeah. And studied drama, but it's a funny thing that I was first enrolled at UCT. And they gave me special permission to do a degree that was going to be a mix between sciences and language. So I would have done Afrikaans, language and sciences, and then during my third year I would have decided which way to go. But then I went to the army, missed my friends. Eventually all the guys were going to return after the 2 years and go to Stellenbosch.
It was compulsory to go to the army then?
It was.
And what did you do in the army? What did you learn? Did it affect you in any way?
It affects everybody who was there. I never enjoyed a moment of it.
Where were you stationed, or where were you?
I was in Kimberley. I did the basics there. So I was in the maintenance, and they were proud that the drilling and everything there in Kimberley was apparently supposed to be fantastic.
So you never actually fought in any wars or anything like that, or you were just based?
All fought in wars. It was a terrible time, and I wouldn't wish it on anybody. Some of my friends and acquaintances and so on loved it.
Any friends that were killed or injured during that time?
Yeah, of course. One of my best friends, but were eventually died in a car accident in South Africa.
Oh, wow.
But most of the people in that unit that he was part of didn't die there. They died here.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
Because of the trauma that they accumulated with that. So, and if I say everybody was in that war, then you needn't have gone to the border to have gone through that war. It was horrific.
Was it traumatic for you?
Yeah, I didn't like any of it. Didn't like the way that one was treated, and nothing about it was exciting for me. Yeah. Anyway, that's it's such a stupid part of my history. I think we've just about in a minute and a half spent too much time on it.
But it's real. It's something that happened. It's something that many South Africans went through.
Absolutely. And Dion Opperman made the play Môre is 'n Lang Dag, which I played in, and eventually I was in the TV program. They made a TV show of it as well. Arnold Vosloo played, Jeremy Mansfield played, myself, a couple of other books, David Butler, so on and so on. Frank Opperman was in it. And later years I directed it also. Then Sean Els played in it, and Tariq Jenkins and a couple of blokes.
And Arnold Vosloo's, he's overseas now, obviously.
He went overseas. He was even overseas at that stage. He was towing and froing.
Oh wow.
Trying to build a career there, which he eventually did successfully, and he's doing successfully, as far as I know. So anyway, okay, to get back to answering your question, then I studied drama at Stellenbosch in order to become a teacher. And in my end of my third year, some of the girls asked me to help them with their audition pieces, which I did. And then by hook or by crook, I got a call from PACT, the Provincial Arts Council of the Transvaal, with an offer to work for them. And that kind of steered my life in that way. So I became a Transvaaler.
You don't support the rugby team, no? You better say no.
Well, they play such lovely rugby, They play lovely rugby.
Yeah, Albert, man. Yeah. There's a stormer, man.
Yeah, well, you can be a stormer and still appreciate good sport.
I'm just teasing.
No, you are. Same as the Cheetahs, they're always brave and always try and do the running. Well, even the Kings nowadays, they always also try to play the running game, and they're brave for the little money that they have, and the little privilege that they have, where all the other unions are bigger and richer. Yeah, so I spent the time there, and end of that first year, then '84, I was in my first TV series. Now that's got an interesting turn now, because that was for Richard van der Berg. I played a gymnast. I got very fit while I was doing it, because I actually went and did.
You had to train for the role?
I learned gymnastics.
Wow.
And the doctor who did my medical wouldn't believe it when she took my pulse. So she took it by the ankle later. It was low. I'll lie to you if I now tell you what it was. It was either 53 or 35 beats a minute.
And that's not good.
It's lovely. You're very fit then. Or very ill.
Oh. Which one was it? Were you fit?
I was very fit. Okay. Yeah. And then my paths crossed with Richard van der Berg again later years with a TV series for Kyknet, Vloeksteen, which Hein Ekstein wrote. And I enjoyed that part tremendously. It was just so beautifully written, you know, and I played it with as much gusto as I could, which I think also gives me a reputation of being over the top. And I love that idea, because that character was
being flamboyant, like over the top. Hey?
That character had to be that. Okay. So I'm happy with that label. Whereas it's also fantastic if you're over the top, but you also understand that he can be very subdued as soon as nobody's looking.
Yeah. So would you call yourself a versatile actor?
I can't call myself any kind of actor.
Why?
I can't label myself as anything. No. It'd still be presumptuous to try and. I don't watch myself necessarily.
Don't you?
Well, see it on TV, but no. Are you a nice guy, or are you versatile, or what? What are you? You know?
I'm both.
Lovely. That's nice if you have
Wouldn't you say that you are an accomplished actor, that you've achieved, that you...
I've been blessed that some people rate some of the work that I do, you know. Yeah. No, I've been very blessed. But it's fantastic that you have the confidence to say that you're both nice guy and versatile. That's lovely. It's good to have that confidence.
You don't have confidence?
I played safe though.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Rather. Hey. Okay. If I'm versatile, then how will the others who think I'm not versatile receive that? So I'd rather not label myself.
Tell me about, you did a movie with Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes.
Tell me about that. Did you actually get to meet him?
Yeah.
How is he?
Yeah. Lovely person. Yeah, he was in one of the, I call him the trailerers there. And everybody inside that trailer was laughing all the time, you know. He was just cracking jokes and stuff. And in the same film was Juliette Binoche.
Yes. Was that your first big film that you did with Hollywood actors, or have there been others?
I don't think so. You know, what I've forgotten about actually are the films that we did in Joburg. I spent many years in Joburg. I was there for 12 years in total. We did Journey to the Center of the Earth, when I played with Billy Moses, who was in Falcon Crest. Then we socialized a bit, you know. If you in the film was also Russell Zavadia, so Russell socializes with everybody. So we ended up playing snooker in Hillbrow and that kind of thing. And already that gave me a taste of what it was to be famous, because you couldn't spend time with Billy Moses because everybody was occupying his time. Anybody that walked past would just stop him and chat to him.
Would you consider yourself famous?
No, luckily not.
Why?
No.
I think you've achieved a lot, and I think that you've been in some big movies, both locally and internationally.
You recognize me, and you keep recognizing me because I was the teacher there.
Yeah, man.
You see?
A cake flick.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing to submerge yourself in the culture.
So besides working with Samuel L. Jackson, you got to work with Clint Eastwood, Invictus.
Yes, that was massive. Yeah.
How is he?
He's a very kind man.
Does he look old? Does he look frail and old? Or?
Yeah, he does.
And what did he say to you? Albert, how are you, man?
No, he comes into a room and comes by and makes sure that he greets people. Yeah, look, he's a grandfather. You know, he was 78 years old then.
Wow.
So, but he was kind. It was funny also. The first scene we filmed, me and this co-actors sat in one of the rooms in the old Holiday Inn there in Woodstock.
Yeah.
And everybody's waiting for the director to say action, and it's not forthcoming, you know.
Yeah.
So everybody's sitting and somebody says, why aren't the actors doing anything? So they said, no, nobody said action. You know? So they said, all right, who's going to, it's supposed to be him, Clint Eastwood saying that. So the next thing we hear from behind there somewhere, come ahead. He just said that. If the action was supposed to come towards him, then he would say, go ahead.
Sure.
Come ahead, go ahead. This is a Magnum 45. It's the most powerful handgun in the world.
What was it like meeting him for the first time? Did you go like?
It was massive, yeah. Look, with respect, I've been fortunate to have met Mandela.
Oh, did you?
But I've known Clint Eastwood better,
Yeah.
you know. So since I was much smaller.
Yeah.
So that was of equal importance to me.
Where did you meet Mandela?
With the SABC's new launch, I was still working in the SABC, and they invited some what they would write as celebrities. So I was there. Stevie Wonder was there, and
Wow.
and who was this baseball player who's or was he a basketball player who murdered his wife?
OJ.
So they say, yeah, his attorney was there,
Oh, okay.
and so on. So I was in this row of people with Jocelyn Broderick, who's a South African actress, on my side. The two of us went as a pair.
Do you ever get starstruck?
Yeah, for sure.
Standing next to Stevie Wonder, how was that? And then meeting Nelson Mandela, I would have probably fainted.
Yeah, you could easily. It was yeah, it's just fantastic to be able to say, that you've been through that kind of thing.
So what did Madiba say when he came up to you?
No, he didn't say much,
Okay.
I said to him in Afrikaans,
Yeah.
dis 'n voorreg.
And he understood?
I wanted him to know that we speak Afrikaans and that we, as Jean Goosen said in one of her little novels, ons is nie almal so nie.
Yeah.
You know?
And what did he say when you said that?
I think he was a bit surprised. He looked a bit surprised, But I mean, he was meeting many people, so he came by and said, hello.
And did you ever have a picture with him? No.
No, there wasn't picture time.
Well, that was before every phone had a camera, eh?
Like I've had the picture with Morgan Freeman playing Mandela, Yeah. No, the Samuel L. Jackson thing was fantastic.
But after that, he just became like a megastar. He was in like every movie out there. Like, I think he was still up and coming then, or what?
But yeah, he was relatively. Everybody knew who he was except for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was sitting in this venue preparing. It was the most beautiful scene. It was a real story from South Africa in this film in my country. And I was sitting there, and this bloke appeared. So I looked around and I saw this kind of, somebody here. And he was moving between the chairs there. So I said to him, hi there. He said, hi. I said, so you also in the film? He said, yeah. And that was him.
Oh, wow.
That was him. So I like to tell that story, but I know it's at my expense.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think I've missed a lot of my favorite things because we work hard in the industry. You work in the day and you work in the evening, and then from time to time, just let your head down. Is that what you say?
Yes.
Let your head down.
Goodbye Bafana. I don't know why that movie didn't ever go on to be something better,
A friend of mine who saw it now, he says to me that was one of his favorites.
Who was in it?
Ralph Fiennes and Diane Kruger.
Yes.
Yeah, that was interesting. Sitting in the back of a high ice with Diane Kruger, sharing the seat there with her. And yes, this minute little.
She looks beautiful. She's beautiful in real life.
Yeah. She's not nearly as big as as impressive. Afrikaans word is imposant. As she looks on screen. Which is a reason why I also wanted to say to you why people don't recognize me. I think they think I'm big. They say to me when they meet me, if somebody says this is that bloke in that part, then they say, oh, you're so small.
Really?
Yeah. So a good reason why people wouldn't recognize me as well. But so Diane Kruger, a little minute little thing. And we were also sitting there and, I'm not that starstruck that I just like rant about a name, So I looked at her, she'd hardly looked at me, and we were talking, and she did a little bit of name dropping, you know. DiCaprio, you know, Lenny, I think she called him Lenny, so, Lenny, she's half German, but now she's got the American accent, so she was talking about Lenny having been here and Mozambique and this and that. And then I just started chatting to her, you know, so next thing she realizes, oh, the South African blokes can, they can talk and so on. So she started, you know, chatting away with me a little bit, which is lovely, you know. We're not necessarily Lenny, but we're here, you know.
No wedding yet with her?
Like
You're not getting married to her? Huh? No wedding with you and her?
No, unfortunately not. We didn't get that far, but we're not talking the same language, you know. We're not speaking the same language.
Have you ever had to put on accents in movies?
Ah, how terrible! You can, yeah. I've spoken some French, and spoken some German, and so on. I think most accent that I've had to do was in Afrikaans TV series Arende, where I was the minister, Blomfontein.
Yes. Weren't you in that other thing with Spa? What was that? The movie, the series about
Konings and Torens.
That was good. I enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Interesting.
Yes, that's well watched. People are still they rebroadcasting it, and
they rebroadcast a lot of stuff that you've been in, quite a lot on TV. Yeah,
that's just the habit of the times.
It's good. I mean, it's always exposure for you. It keeps you relevant. Hey?
It's always free.
No money.
But I know the Konings. Even young people still recognize me by Konings for some reason. I think because of the rebroadcasts, and they loved that series. Has a lot of miles, you know, by a footer. So it's still going, still walking.
So I would say, Albert, that you are an established actor in South Africa, and I believe that people do know who you are, but they're probably too shy to come and say hello to you because they think, maybe you are bigger, but maybe you can also go clap as well, you know.
They can also be scared of me because the guy in Torens was quite a hectic bloke.
Yeah, there we go.
Elephant man looks scary.
So they might think, ons weet nie. So Vilja, your son, followed in your footsteps. Tell me about that. That must have been interesting. From your father to you, now Vilja. That's like all generations.
And his little brother Maritz also did well, but then he decided that's not for him. So he started in architecture. Vilja's now still building a career. Vilja's doing very good work, you know, from what I'm seeing. And he's well loved, you know. There's a lot of people that love his heart and his soul and his way. His good manners and so on, and it's lovely when people make a point of making contact to tell me that, you know, even on Facebook, inboxing me and saying, I think you'd like to know how well mannered the boy is.
Are you very socially active on social media?
Yeah, relatively. You know, I don't do family business on it, but I'm here and there.
Just showing what you're up to. I know that you recently did, that came out, Moeder en Bloed, and now the movie that is out at the moment, Uitvlucht. Tell me about that.
Well, there were 3-4 films, I think, in a row that now. There was a Stricta, so I had this cute little part in, funky, funny, old man. And then Mansus My Pa, which was a massive privilege, always to be in a Sean Els film, you know, with a producer, Johan Creer. And then Moeder en Bloed, again Sean Els, which is a really good film, you know, and a lot of people didn't want to face the drama, I think, but they missed a good film. That was lovely. It, and had good performances, you know. I've never seen.
It's like a war film, isn't it?
Yeah. Some of these, like Grant Swanby, I've never seen so good in a film, you know. It's a war film with and a rugby film, and the rugby scenes in there were much better than Invictus, much better. Oh yes, by far. There's no comparison.
I still watch it. Actually, I haven't watched it yet, but I'm gonna.
Yeah. And then Uitvlucht now was, as I say, you know, this like a little reunion with Reagat again, which is always good for the heart. So The film industry is alive.
So now from film, you're going to stage. Obviously, we can see you soon in July in die bos, daar in Nelspruit.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're not going to be on stage. Obviously, it's your play that you're involved in.
I'm on two fronts there. I'll be singing and performing in Heidi, the musical.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm playing the Opa, which you can...
The actual Heidi?
Why? The Heidi, yeah, the actual Heidi.
Right. Who did... I know Kurt Darren covered the song, but who did the original? Do you know?
No.
But Heidi.
No.
I thought you'd know.
Yeah. No. And
But the same thing, the same.
It's the same story.
Okay.
Yeah, the little girl that visits the Opa and the mountains. And
Then I have to come watch that.
you'll have to. It's lovely. People are enjoying it a lot.
Have you done it already?
Yeah. We stayed. We did it at Karoo Kunstefees. And am I lying to you? Yeah, we did it at the Karoo.
Bring it closer to home, man. I'd like to see it here in Cape Town, eh?
It's going. It will be at Woordfees next year.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, in Stellenbosch. So it's going to do all the festivals now. And the play that I'm directing for Annie Bos was at their invitation. It's we've got these most fantastic playwrights that's written classics in Afrikaans, and I've been fortunate to have directed many of them. And this Chris Barnard died last year. I'm sad to say. He, maybe people now in the modern times will remember him for having written the script for Paljas and for Die Wonderwerker feature films that were very successful. So Chris, this play that he wrote in the 60s, Pa, maak vir my 'n vleerpa, and some of our most incredible actors had performed in it over the decades. I think the original cast was Frans Marx, Kobus Rousseau, and Kitta Reelinghuis. And now I'm fortunate to be able to do it with Sandra Prinsloo and Waldemar Schultz and Wilhelm van der Walt. Wow. Obviously Sandra is a very accomplished actress, but Waldi and Villa, those two blokes, you got to keep watching. They're fantastic.
Oh, but you can say that you're accomplished. It's okay. You're established, eh?
It's not about
You're up there as well, I believe. Eh? I mean,
Thank you.
You should take credit for what you've done and who you are.
It's not about me though. It's the same as when you're a teacher. That it's not about you. You're facilitating people, and that's more important.
Where can people find you on social media? Are you on Twitter?
Website,
I've got a website. Yeah, www.albertmaritz.co.za.
Look at you. Not even I have a website. So come on, hey. Albert, we could sit here all day and chat about you and about your life and about things and just how time has just gone so quickly, man.
We haven't even started on you yet.
I know. We'll have to do the reverse one next time you come. Eh? We'll get there. Yeah. But thank you for your time. It is amazing to see what you've done and what you've accomplished. And since I was in school, you were my Afrikaans teacher, maybe for a short time, but you had an impact on me. So thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Bless you too, man.
Best wishes.
Thank you. Albert Maritz having a chat to us here on Talking Point on Deen TV with Stephen Taylor. Catch us back same time next week.